Hi there, welcome back. I know I said that the next time you see experiment number 3, I'll probably have the text block sewn together and glued in and all that. But today I decided I'm going to work on the embellishing the front page, and I think it'll be easier to do before gluing the book together. So, and it's going to be one of my fussy cut things where I fit it together to fit what I need it to fit. And the front page is big enough that I can actually use one of my big pictures that I think is pretty. And so let's move the cover. There it is. Woohoo! So I'm not so terribly worried if I lose any of all this. I'd like to keep the title, and I definitely want to keep this is the most important thing to me, so that the new owner and whoever's hands it ends up in knows that the original book, that what it once was published in 1903, so it's 121 years old. So this is one of my favorite books when I need a big, beautiful picture. Traveling with the Birds, and I found it in, of all places, an antique, one of those little antique malls where people rent booths, and although I feel badly for the people who are closing their booth, although hopefully maybe it's because they're retiring to Florida. I think of it that way. This booth was closing, and everything in the booth was like 75% off. And I found this book, and this was down in, let me turn the page first, it's huge, and my camera, I don't want to have to move it. Anyhow, it was from Virgil Public School. Virgil, Ontario is one of those places, if you're driving through it and you blink, you can miss it. It's pretty, it's now considered within the town of Niagara-on-the-Lake. But it's one of those places that when you're in Virgil, if you're from the area, you know you're in Virgil. You just do. Anyhow, this book has huge, beautiful, beautiful pictures. I mean, look at that. Is that beautiful? It's from 1933. Look at all those. Aren't they lovely? And I just thought this experiment, look at that. I want to use that one day, maybe for a fall or a winter book. So pretty. I came very close to picking this one, but it would cover too much. They're so big and beautiful. How nice for children to really get an up-close look at the markings of a bird, rather than, usually the little books we look at, they're tiny, and they're still better. I've heard say, not that I am a bird watcher or an insect watcher, or I appreciate them all and such, but I've heard say that the experts still prefer to work from when they're trying to identify if they've seen the correct bird or bug or reptile, that it's easier to work from a good illustration than it is from a photograph. And I look at this, and they're just so pretty. So anyhow, I wanted to, you're glued together. I wonder if I should even be trying that. Oh, there we go. I think we got it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Not that I'm going to use this. Oh, wouldn't that be nice in a Christmas one? Yeah, that's okay. All right. Hold on and let me put that aside. So, just a strange little book that obviously was in the school library. There's the little tape with whatever the library number, call numbers were on it. I chose this one that I want to put on here. And I think I will be able to place these closer together. I may fussy cut this tiny bird right here. And then I think I'll still be able to save this beautiful telephone wire or electrical wire, whatever it is, and make a pocket out of it. So we're going to get started. I'm going to fast forward while I fussy cut, and then we can. I'll show you what I do in order to put it down on the front page. So here we go. I'll fast forward through because this would take not too long. There's a lot of straight lines, so I'm not too worried about fussy cutting this, but I'll still fast forward through it. So here we go. Okay, so as you can see, we have our two beautiful little birds fussy cut out. It was very simple to do. It didn't take that long, but it would have taken up, it ended up taking about 9 minutes. I took my time. And you'll notice I just didn't worry about the little toes that were hanging down. There was one here and one here. A little cheat that you can do later on, if those toes were that important to you, is in this case I would use my brown one. I have a brown micron marker, and you could glue it in place and then finish your little toe off again. And but personally, I don't think it will. It's really that noticeable. I think how pretty these birds are, and those lovely shades of gold and blue. That's what's going to be the wow sort of thing. And you'll notice if I had tried to leave this all in one piece, it would have been very floppy, very difficult to deal with, and probably would have ended up tearing because both these ends would have been heavy, and that tiny piece of paper would have been trying to support either one bird or the other, depending on how I approached it. So I chose strategically where I was going to cut it into 2 fussy cuts that I could realistically, if I had been working on a page big enough to handle it, I could just simply glue it back as it was, and you would never know. Let's go down in a bit. You really wouldn't know that I had fussy cut it into two separate pieces to get it done properly. But in this case, I'm going to want to move them closer together. So that shadow is actually going to be a help, because the shadow would still be there for this little bird, and I'll be able to move this little bird further along, and it'll be the same as if, see how that end is still the same on the little, I suppose they're still on one of these wires. Maybe there was a wire on a line that was closer up to the view of the artist. So that's what I suspect. That doesn't look like the branch of a tree. I suspect that's a phone wire. So what we do now is the signature. I'm going to remove it. See what I mean? How I think taking it apart will make it easier for me to piece them together. Now I may lose a little bit of his luxurious tail. I'm not sure yet. In order to fit all of this beautiful one in. No, I think we'll be able to keep all his tail. So that way, I wonder if I bring it down a bit, you'll be able to see volume 2. That would be nice. Then we can still see, let me come back up again. There we go. That way you can still see this beautiful little logo of the Bates and Guild Company. And we can see our 1903 down here. And we can see the title. So that, I'm going to place this little bird as close as I can so I can save its little tip of its tail, or else maybe that's the tip of its wing. And I have just enough room to trim the electrical wire so that it runs off the page. And over here, I have just enough room to trim the electrical wire over there and save all of that tail. I'm really happy about that. I think that looks so nice. And then if I want to, this little fellow, I could just fussy cut him out and maybe have him flying off into the distance in the corner. So normally I would say, haha, now is the time to get out your distress ink. But in this case, I don't believe, first of all, that these need to be inked around the edge, because this paper is pretty well the same shade as whatever is still possibly showing around the edges. And I really don't think anything is showing around the edges. So I think we're okay. Yeah, I really do think we're okay. I may, if I tilt you a bit, nope. I'm just thinking of ways to hang on to so that I can keep both birds' tails and also this. He needs to be here. He needs to be here. See what I mean? How there's a little bit of a finesse when you are when you want to cut up a picture, fussy cut it, and then regroup it so that it fits back together again, and it just magically looks like it was meant to be. I will be using these the colors in the surrounding sky and clouds are just so beautiful. I'm going to find things to do with that. Not sure yet what. This is a little bit worn out, so I may find a way to create a tuck on the other side to fortify this. It's a little bit torn down here. It's not too bad, and I think it will hold up for a good many years. But I'm not too worried. I wonder if I fussy cut, if maybe that's what I could do by putting that across the bottom and just gluing it straight onto the page. We'll see. I'm not going to worry about that yet. Probably not today on camera. So here's where we get our little, each one's different. There we go. So we get our pencil out and we put guidelines on with pencil so that when we lay down our little birds, our little lovebirds here, I guess I should go back to the book and find out what they are. I'm sure this is definitely in the swallow family. I suspect that's another kind of swallow. When you see that shape of a tail, that's usually a swallow. I would wager money. I'm going to worry about this guy first because he's going to have to go down first because this is the bird with the shadow. So I'm going to pencil in very lightly because this is old paper and you know how vigorous I can be at times. Where it's important that I know where I'm going to glue this. I'm saying he. Usually the more vivid birds are the male ones. So I suspect this is a little fellow, but I could be wrong. I'm one of those weirdos that I actually think the female cardinals are prettier than the boy ones, even though the boys are that beautiful, glorious red. Hold on. I love the gold color of the female robins. This is going to be a crucial one, where the beak goes. All right, so we will put you safely aside for now. In this case, I'm going to use a glue stick. And then what I will do is later, after it's dried, is I will use my fingernail and feel around because there's lots of pointy parts to him. And if there's any sticking up that look like they're going to catch, that's when I will go underneath with art glitter glue, but I won't even use this tip. Even that tip is too big. What I will do is I'll make a blop of art glitter glue down on a piece of paper, and I will get a pin and dip it in the art glitter glue and go under whatever little pointy part is going to need a little extra, which I know for sure there will be places that need a little extra. Barn swallow, there we go. Okay. Good thing I flipped it over. Now let's see if this is ready to be used. Since it's the first one of the day. Okay, and I'm going to use one of my long pins. It's kind of mucky. It's got glue on it. What else? The visit with the dog trainer last night went very well. She's actually quite impressed with our little Kirby and the work we've done so far. And she certainly gave me, why am I cleaning this right now? I need to use my glue stick. Oh well, it's ready when I need it. She doesn't see any reason why we can't get past and work through Kirby's anxiety, which I was quite relieved because the last dog trainer, when I spoke to her over the phone, basically said, "Oh, 2 years old and she's still like that. That's it. That's the way she is. You call your vet and ask for meds." And I'm not ready to give up on this little dog and help her learn how to be calm on her own. So this dog trainer, said, "I'm going to be honest with you. You're looking at this is going to be slow, baby steps." Well, that's fine. I'm okay with baby steps when it comes to her, because hopefully with little dogs, they live a longer life, and I'm hoping to have a good 13, 14, 15 more years with our little Kirby. So if it takes, she said we could be looking at about 6 months. 6 months? I can do 6 months if it's for our little girl, so that she can comfortably and not with any anxiety. Let me throw this out right now. Without any anxiety, be able to stay in the house so that we can at least maybe once in a while go out for dinner. Go somewhere for an hour or two. Yes, that'll fit. Now, if I had used a liquid glue with this old paper, 120 years old, it would have buckled, and the other side would be very unpleasant to look at. Probably have to cover it up with something. And you can do that. So don't worry if you've ever done that and the other side looks horrible. Put a big pocket over it. Get a nice piece of scrapbook paper and make a great big huge pocket. I would suggest you use double-sided tape to glue it down. That's really great on old paper. Let me find my soft eraser. And we'll take these pencil marks off. Let's come in a bit so you can see. I'm hoping I'm not taking too long. And I'm hoping I can see here that I've got the lower half I really didn't lay down as well as I'd hoped. So I'm still hoping that I can fit the other little birdie on where I want he or she to go. I don't think these are the same breed. I think there's both swallows. I think they're two different kinds of swallow. So we were able to save the title, Volume 2, that. There we go, that's coming up. And so far, that looks good. Oh, here's some pencil here. All right, now, where's our other beautiful little friend? Okay, let's cross our fingers. Yes. Just barely. Oh, just barely. So I'm not sure I need pencil marks, but I'm going to just in case. That's important. I know to match up the pole here, so I'm going to do one for the top of his or her head and under here. All right, let's do it again. Who'd have thought gluing down two birds could be so... I don't want any lumps and clumps, so I'm cleaning off the head of this glue stick. There we go. All right. So, and I hope you're all noticing that I am trying my very best not to be vigorous as I apply this glue stick. I'm terrible for being way too vigorous with glue sticks and with distress inking. I don't know why I feel like I've got to go at it like that. There we go. I think we've got the whole thing. And I apologize for any shadows. It's sunny today, but tiny bit cloudy. It's going in and out of the clouds. So now I'm going to move this because that glue is wet. And my luck, I'll plop it into the wet. Now, you need to go there, and you need to marry up there, and then you can fit there. Yes. We did it. Look at that. Let me come back. Look at that. Isn't that nice? That's going to look beautiful with the end papers because the end papers are the green marbled papers. I'm going to go get them. So that's going to look really nice as an opening. The opening ta-da, I like to call it. So I'm really, really happy with that. And you can see how using the glue stick, less water in the glue, so less buckling of old paper. If I needed to, I might possibly, because these are large, I might have been able to at least get one lift if I needed to lift and place back down. But fortunately we didn't have to. There we go. And this one didn't take as many pencil marks to put down. Now, I'm going to, before I trim these off, because that's not necessary, what I'm going to do is place it under here and a rock on top, and I'm going to go and have some lunch with my little friend and give this some pressure. And then hopefully the next time we get together, I will have the text blocks sewn together, glued into the cover, and end papers also glued in. So thanks for joining me today as we put these two little friends into their new home. I really love how that turned out. And you can see here where if I really feel like it, I could put a toe hanging down and a back toe hanging down there. I'm not going to worry about it. I think they're so pretty. That's what's going to catch people's eyes. So have a great rest of your day. And if you enjoyed this video, I hope you'll take a second and click the thumbs up. And even in the comments, say hi and I'll say hi back. And enjoy your day. That's what I'm planning on doing. Take care. See you soon. Bye.